Welcome to a brand new podcast, and this is the Oracle 19. And once again, as always, my name is Mr. Greatness. For any business inquiries, if you want to put your brand on this platform, you can email us at evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. And that's the same email if you want to make a free will offering to this platform. This is our PayPal account as well, so PayPal email, I should say, evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. You can shop online to our baby shopping mall, which is www.evolutionoflondon.com. We have a whole wide range of different products: men's, kids, ladies' clothes, jewelry, cologne, perfume, and much more. So that's evolutionoflondon.com. And also check out evolutionoflondon.org, O-R-G. There you'll find custom clothes, accessories, and ebooks for personal as well as business use. And finally, evolutionoflondon.store, S-T-O-R-E. There you'll find lotions, soaps, more clothes, games, DVDs, and much more. So that's evolutionoflondon.store. Also, we have different links to other affiliates, www.linktree.com/evolutionoflondon. You will find, again, as I mentioned, different links to other affiliates. And so you definitely could support us there, www.linktree.com/evolutionoflondon. And we do have a Patreon account in which we have videos that is not posted on YouTube. www.patreon.com/evolutionoflondon. Rumble.com. You just go and type in the Oracle 19. And you'll find you'll find more of our shows there as well as we expand on Rumble. So that's www.rumble.com, and again, just type in the Oracle 19. Check out the company Royalty 9 International. They make homemade candles, 12-ounce jars, 100% soy wax, from scented to unscented. Now, the scented candles is from frankincense, myrrh, jasmine, vanilla, eucalyptus, peppermint, just to name a few. So, if you want to place an order, you can email the company at royalty9international@gmail.com. And they're also on social media. Find them on TikTok and Instagram. I just had a brain lapse with that. I should know that, obviously. Royalty 9 International, you'll find them on social media, as I mentioned. Instagram as well as Tickety Talk, aka TikTok. And again, very good candles, luxury candles, over 35 plus hours of burning time. Royalty 9 International. Mr. Will, he's been a fitness consultant for over 15 years, so if you want to book a consultation, you can email him at healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. Again, that's healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. And support his merch, www.wjaaccessories.com, for custom clothes, accessories, and digital products as well. DJ Panthro, he's international DJ. So if you want to book for him to come to your venue, you can email him at djpanthro519@gmail.com. Again, that's djpanthro, PANTHRO 519@gmail.com. And you also can find him on social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, DJ Panthro 519. And also, as a bonus, you have a second TikTok platform. That's The Real DJ Panthro. And again, you can support his brand by email him if you want him again to come to your venue, DJ Panthro. Music, Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. We have a whole wide range of different beats. So if you want to support his brand, once you go to his YouTube platform, you will see his other social media sites. So like, subscribe, and share to Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. And continue to train on YouTube at the Greatness 19 channel, where we have over 635 shows to open up your third eye. So again, like, subscribe, and share, and pass the information along on the train of world greatness. Again, the Greatness 19 channel. I need your guys to continue spreading the love worldwide. And also support Mr. Evolution of London. That's our health and wellness channel. So we want to get those subscribers up on that platform as well. So support Mr. Evolution of London. Again, that's our health and wellness channel on YouTube. All right, well, we have Cindy's Place. Cindy's Place. She has custom clothes, accessories, and digital products as well. Her website is www.cindysplace.org. Again, that's www.cindysplace.org. Now the Oracle 19 is on all major platforms. We're on iHeartRadio, Google, Apple, Spotify for podcasters. That used to be Anchor.fm. Amazon Music, just to name a few. So any information I haven't mentioned will be in the description box of the Oracle 19 podcast, the Greatness 19 channel, Mr. Evolution of London. Both of those is on YouTube. Rumble. You just type in the Oracle 19. Information will be in the description box there. And finally, www.theoracle19radio.com. Well, as always, I give my opinion / perspective on different different topics. And that a lot of times is triggering, but again, it's my perspective. So today I want to talk about New Age thinking. Now, a previous show about maybe a year, close to 2 years ago, I talked about, it was a topic, new school thinking versus old school thinking. So it's similar. So I'm just getting a little bit more depth with this topic, New Age thinking. And my opinion with the New Age thinking, and you can see within society and how, in my opinion, because it's always a structure, it's always some entity that's pushing this popular New Age thinking. Excuse me. This New Age thinking that is being promoted. And you can see it within government and media. And who you always got to follow, do your due diligence and follow who controls the media. What group controls the media? And when you follow up, you find it's the same individuals that control the media, own the media, or CBS, ABC, CNN, etc. So when you do your due diligence, you'll find out who is running things. And if you want to even go further within government, the government is being controlled by entities as well. For example, if you look at the U.S. Treasury, the Federal Reserve, they print money to the government. They say U.S. of A. And I just use that as an example. So whoever prints the money controls the government. Just keep that in mind. Because the Federal Reserve is not government owned, it's a private corporation. And if you do your due diligence, you'll find out that the same group that owns the media also owns the Federal Reserves. And a lot of times they will hire CEOs to run the corporation because they in the shadows. That's where you get the term shadow government. But again, I'm bringing it back to the New Age thinking. So I have to give you a point of reference so you can start thinking about how New Age thinking came about. Again, it's the same entities that controls the media and prints the money. And not only the USA, they control countries throughout the world. It's the same entities, same groups, same elitists that controls, or put out, I should say, this New Age thinking. And part of the reason of putting out this New Age thinking is, number one, to confuse the population, cause dissension among people. Two, so it won't be no healthy procreation between man and woman. All of this, and also to slowly kill off the population mentally, because if you are mentally dead, you just like a shell, like an eggshell, but no yolk. I say it again. You like an egg shell with no yolk, meaning you have no substance. So you just walking around with no substance. You just deaf, dumb, and blind. So if that's being mentally dead, and that's just as well as being physically dead, because if you really have no idea of what's going on around you, or you don't care, or you take on to this New Age thinking, it's easy for you to be controlled. Now I know a lot of you wouldn't understand what the heck Mr. Greatness is talking about. But again, this is only for the few, not the many. So if you really don't have understanding of what I'm talking about, or don't care, you are part of the sheep. And the elitists like when you have this New Age thinking, because you're being controlled. There's a less chance that you're going to be standing up for yourself against the machine. Because again, as long as you have this New Age thinking, and I'm going to break down this New Age thinking in a few minutes, but I'm just giving you a reference point right now, just starting you off, so letting you know where this New Age thinking, in my opinion, I put it like that, started from. Now, again, you don't know, you might say, well, who is this elitist? Well, I'm not going to get into it, because if I get too heavy with you, then, it might jeopardize me, per se. So you're going to have to do your due diligence and type in on Google, who are the world elitists? ELIST or something like that, elitists. But who controls the world? Maybe that will help you understand. Maybe if you don't understand that, what families Rich families control the world. Okay, now maybe I'm warming up your brain now. Okay, so that's your homework assignment, to do your due diligence, and that will help you. And then it will also maybe give you a understanding of how they could create a situation having new age thinking among us citizens in order for us to be deaf, dumb, and blind. So if you have this new age thinking, you easily able to be controlled because one, you don't have a care, you don't care what's going on, and number two, you have this me and free type of mentality. So I'm repeating this again in a different way so it can sink in, because again, I'm going to break down this new age thinking in my opinion. I'll say my opinion so I don't get flagged out here. All right, so now we have a little bit of a breakdown and you have a little bit of an understanding, I hope. Then we can go a little further. Now, what is this new age thinking? Now, you see, just look at your famous movies, your popular movies that you're watching today. All the new movies that is put out today. This new age thinking. Number one, my opinion, there's no religious base and no religious base. In my opinion, you have to have some type of foundation for yourself. Some type of discipline. Now, you have a lot of people that don't believe in the supreme being. You hear people saying, I am God, I am Lord in the flesh, and I don't believe in supreme being. I'm just here. I'm just here. I'm just dangling. I control my own destiny. There's no supreme being. All right? So, the problem with humans, we as humans, we need structure. That's why you have the Bible today. And that's why you have other books for other religions. Now, I'm not going to get into say which one is better, which one is good or bad, but you need structure because we as humans is like a train with no conductor. And it's proven because if we don't have structure, we crash and burn. Example, we do a lot of degenerate things. We out here abusing our bodies, taking drugs and everything else, fornicating with each other's husband and wives, married people, I should say. Structure. And see, you'll find in the Bible and other books, Quran and the Torah, it has structure. And I'm just using those 3 books as an example. Because if you do truly believe and follow those books to the T or to the best of your ability, you have structure. You have discipline. And this is proven even now. All these individual people floating around, not believing in anything, just floating. They have no structure. They're not disciplined. And you can see them. And this is for the most part. Do you have exception to the rules? Absolutely. But most people that is not like have a religious base and discipline on those religions that I mentioned or those books that I mentioned do not have discipline, structure, because their philosophy says, again, this new age thinking, I'm just here. I could do whatever I want. I could be me and free. And that's 2/3 of the population. Now, is this a coincidence that this new age thinking is being put out here, because the powers that be, they know what they're doing. Because if they truly, because this United States of America supposedly is built on Christianity, strong Christian faith. And you will see that in the court system when you have to put your hand on the Bible. But guess what? They don't really practice what they preach, because if you have a judge, and we're saying as an example, making a decision on the life and death of an individual, that judge is being the God of the earth. And in reality, that's blasphemy, because the judge is a man, he's not the Lord. But, and also, the court system don't practice what they preach in terms of the Bible. But yet and still they want you to put your hand on the Bible, which is very hypocritical. And same thing with government. They have, let's say, the US dollar, in God we trust. But do they practice what they preach, the government? By even putting that in God we trust on the dollar bill. That would be blasphemy. And that's just not only the United States, it's other European countries. But I'm just dealing with the United States as an example. But governments, that's what they do. So do they practice what they preach? Again, this new age thinking. So people, again, could be me and free and do whatever they want with no spirituality, no true spirituality, or a strong spiritual base, which would be the scriptures, because that supposedly, right, been sent from the Most High. And we is a proven fact. We not following the scriptures. This is why the world is chaotic. This is why people could be whoever they want to be. And another new age thinking is gender. Who are you? What are you? Where? How? People don't even know. They coming into this world as men or women, as boys and girls, and they don't even know. They like 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, that been influenced to cross dress. Little boys wearing dresses. Little girls acting very manly. 9 years old, 10 years old talking about they are lesbians. Boys at 9, 10 years old talking about they are gay. Still don't know how to wipe themselves, but they just saying, I am gay. Where this coming from? Who's pushing this? This new age thinking. Because 40, 50, 60 years ago, in the 70s, early 70s, homosexuality was considered a mental illness. Even though you had gay people back then and before, of course, but it was considered, leading all the way up to the early 70s, a mental illness in North America, European nations. Now, this new age thinking, young boys and young girls could say, I'm a boy today and a girl tomorrow. And non-binary the next day. This new age thinking. And you have, look, here's the reality. We all have family and friends and foe that is homosexual or lesbian or trans or whatever. I got it in my family. You got it in your family or friends or somebody somewhere that is. That's just part of the world. But my question for me to you, how can little boys and girls automatically, because they've been, in my opinion, been trained up to say I'm gay and they are like 5 years old, 6 years old, 9 years old. How I don't understand this new age thinking and this push to celebrate if you're 9 years old, 8 years old. And we're not even talking about if you're in your 20s, 30s. We're just talking about if you're 9, 8 years old. And then it's celebrated with society saying it's okay for a young boy or girl that's 8 years old, 9 years old, or 5 years old, 4 years old could say they gay. I mean, it's celebrated and it's pushed. And it said you cannot shame them. Again, this new age thinking. And I notice, you know, I got family, friends, and so-called friends, I should say, and folk that believe in this new age thinking it's okay. There's nothing wrong. And also to even double down, well, I'll break that down first. Look, my house is my house. I am not into this new age thinking, personally. You have this new age thinking, I could deal with you from afar. I can do business with you. I could be cordial with you. I'm not going to be like calling you out your name. And I'm not going to be like disrespectful to you. I give you, you know, I hear you out, you know, from out in the streets, you know, or public. But you can't come to my house with that. You're not invited into my house with that new age thinking. No. I don't want no new age thinkers poisoning my house. And I think I have that God-given right? I think I still have that right to allow who is welcome in my house and who is not. I think I got that right? I think it's no law against of who I can invite in my house and who is welcome in my house. I think I got that right. You're in the public or in the job or generally outside of my home, I can't control that. Nor am I willing to even try, because in the public spectrum. But in my house, you're not welcome. I don't need that new age thinking from any family, friends, or foe to come to my house and poison my house and poison whoever is here or try. You're not welcome. You stay where you stay. Anybody with that new age thinking, I don't want you in my circumference. And I stand on that. And I know that's pretty much 2/3 of the population, family, friends, or foe. You got that new age thinking, I put it out there. Don't waste your time. We could talk over the phone. We could talk in public. Believe me, I definitely have no reason to really come to your house. And you don't have to bother coming to my house. Because I don't need to hear, because you know what? People that have new age thinkers, you know, it's still that negative energy. Because it just comes out of their pores. From the way they dress or their thinking. I mean, it'll show itself. It'll manifest itself. This is just my opinion, okay? Now, you could say, oh yeah, Mr. Grady, you old-minded and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that I'm cool with. Because I can't wrap my head against you, a person with that new age philosophy, entering my home. It's like a crackhead. Now, this might be extreme. Would you allow a crackhead, a known crackhead, to come to your house? Or a person that think crack is good? Would you want that type of person around you? That's my question from me to you. And I know that's extreme to some of you, but this is just an analogy. A person with it's like another analogy. If you deal with a white supremacist, would you want really a white supremacist in your house? I'm speaking of all races here. And if you do, then if you don't mind or whatever, then that's probably something in you. You might have a certain thinking similar to that white supremacist. Especially you black folks, but I could go on even with white versus white. Some liberal white people don't want white supremacists in their household. So if you slowly is understanding where I'm coming from. And so I'm bringing it back to the new age thinker or new age thinkers. You don't want that type of person, in my opinion, to come to your house. I'm just being real with you. Again, I'm not hating on you. If out in the public, I'm be very respectful. I will, talk to you, be cordial. Everything else, because I'm not going to come out as a heathen, cursing you out, because your belief is your belief. But that's in the public. But you not welcome in my house. Family, friends, or foe. I'm drawing the line in the sand, putting it on Front Street. And I also continue on this gender war. A lot of women, I'm finding, if a man that they are with is a bisexual, a lot of these new age thinking women is in agreement to still date, still have sex with that man that they're going out with. They say that, well, that was the past and it's okay right now. And they say, I even hear women told me this, well, I just have to worry about him now if he's going to cheat on me with a man or woman. And you want to go out with this person? I thought you wanted to go out with a man. You was wanting to date a heterosexual man. That's why you picked that, what you thought of as a heterosexual man. But you saying you don't care if he was with a man or a woman? A lot of these women, they sanction that. They think it's okay. And in my opinion, that's sickness. But in their case, they really think I'm outdated and I'm crazy. I don't want that type of person in my house. They confuse, in my opinion. Family, friends, or foe. If you of that ilk, that philosophy, save yourself time. Don't bother coming to my house. I don't need that energy, that philosophy, the new age thinking. It's okay to have going out with a man that was or is a bisexual. If he was, technically he still is. I don't know. Maybe I'm off. And a lot of you women sanction that. And you know what's the crazy thing about this, ladies and gentlemen? These women with this philosophy is procreating sons. They are procreating young boys. And these young boys had no chance. They have to raise themselves and supersede what their mama philosophy is. This is why these young boys grow up to be weak young men. I was watching a college football game, and this guy from USC, the game he was playing against Washington. And then at the end of the game, because they lost, his mother was in the stands. This was on live TV, on national TV. This guy he was on the sideline, and he went in the stands where his mother was at the end of the game and started crying. No, this was live. I say this again. He's a quarterback right now playing USC, college football, and probably be drafted number 1. So you can figure out who he is. And he cried. He cried. He went in the stands, hugging his mother, while he was in his pads, shoulder pads, and went and started crying on his mother's shoulder. Where you get this? Where we get these men, young men out here? That's crazy. In my opinion, I did not grow up like that. I played sports. My parents watched me. After a loss, I'm running to my mama and then crying on her shoulder, and she had to put she had a piece of paper. She covered his face because this guy started weeping and crying. You are grown. You're supposed to be an 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old man. 20 or something like that. You're a young man out here. You're supposed to be a soldier. You the quarterback. You're going to be a Heisman Trophy. You considered one of the best quarterbacks coming out of college. You're supposed to be a leader for your team. But that's not a good look. You run into the stands and crying on your mother's shoulder. I don't want no quarterback. I don't want the New York Giants to get that type of quarterback. I tell you the truth. I really wouldn't want him. And I know a lot of people in the media will not want to take him, will not want to draft him, because if he's crying, this is my opinion, if he's crying, imagine if he gets to New York and he don't do well, and the media is vicious in NYC. The fans is vicious in NYC. NYC in general is vicious city. It's a hard city in every aspect. Even the rats is hard. Even the roaches is hard. And you is crying in college, and the Giants draft you, and you don't perform well in the game, everybody's going to be vicious. You're going to be looking for your mama every day. And you're going to break down every day. How in the world are you going to function then? You're going to be crying on your mama's shoulder every time? You're going to be weeping? You better not go to Giants Stadium, or aka MetLife, and your mama is in the stands, and you playing the Dallas Cowboys, and let's say the Dallas Cowboys blow you out and you got 5 interceptions, and you run to the stands at MetLife and you start crying in New Jersey. Man, everybody will chew you out. You will see a picture, your face the next week with tears. And if you go on the road, you will see tears. The other fans will put your picture in tears as a face. They will chew you out in the NFL everywhere. But in this world that we live in, a lot of these women say it's okay. It's nothing wrong for him to cry. Yeah, we, as men, yeah, we're not machines, but you're supposed to be a leader. You're a leader of men. You're supposed to tough that out. If you're going to cry, you better cry behind closed doors. But what these new age females will say, oh, it's nothing wrong, you know, we celebrating and his emotions and so forth and so on. So on. These women would teach their boys it's okay. They would teach them to be weak-minded. And any other man that has a strong philosophy, such as I, will be put down, or they will keep the children or keep that child away from that boy. I'm just giving you an example. This new age thinking. This new age thinking. So this is why this society is weak. You can have intercourse with anybody, anything, any gender, anytime. No structure. And that's why I started out in the beginning to talk about we need the scriptures. We need, these are book of laws we need to follow, because obviously we're not doing a good job with this new age thinking. You got more people popping pills and at a young age than probably in the history of life. They just, everybody, you pop pills for everything. And this new age thinking, it's okay to be a junkie. It's okay to be a junkie. You got a lot of functional junkies out here. You got people on Prozac, and that's wild to me. Because when you start getting on these drugs and you become dependent on these drugs, when you get off, you're a different animal as far as I'm concerned. I don't know, I don't want you around me, because a person that is on these pills and medicated, I heard stories and I seen results in real time. People that's heavily medicated, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, if they get off of that, even, you know, or when they're getting off of that, they wild. They just erratic behavior. And you don't know. I'm not in the business right now to try to figure out who is who. If you're around me and you on that Prozac and stuff, I don't want you around me. Not in my house, that's for sure. Because I don't know what type of reactions you'll be on if you, let's say, not on that particular day. If you on drugs and stuff and you're dependent on drugs, all of that stuff, I don't need you around me. I really don't. Not in my house. Talk outside, talk over the phone. That's family, friends, or foe. Because you're wild. You're a ticking time bomb as far as I'm concerned. If you ever decide to get off of that, listen, you have mental illnesses and stuff. I don't know. I feel I'm in danger. I really feel that my life is in danger, potentially. 2/3 of this population out here are heavily medicated. And I don't want to tell you the truth, I don't even really want to be around people like that anymore. I'm more than happy just having my own small crew that I deal with. Because the ones I've been rocking with for decades, they solid. They not on medication. And you're going to say, well, as far as you know, Mr. Greatness, okay, I take that. But guess what? They showed me otherwise over the decades that they solid. and we've been through thick and thin, so they deserve to be around me. They deserve they are welcome in my house because they showed me they are solid people. This elite group of mine. Family, friends, and foe. But all of you other new age thinkers, family, friends, and foe, that have all of these philosophies and medicate on Prozac and mixing other pills and you heavily smoking weed. I don't want no weed head in my house neither. Yeah, I'm keeping it 100. And that hurts. That's going to be like, people like say, well, F you. Die slow, Mr. Greatness. Well, back at you. Because you have habits. If you staying in my house and stuff and you want to take a puff and you can't take a puff in my house. So guess what? As you staying in my place for an extended period of time, being that you're a weed head, and let's say you can't get your fix after a couple hours, you're going to get cravings. You're going to feel a need. You're going to get a little antsy. And if you get antsy, you're going to get irritated, potentially, because you have this habit. You need a puff. And if we just having conversation or you here for an extended period of time, you're going to have a problem. You got to go outside, take a puff, and then come back in. And then I got to smell your marijuana residue in my house. I don't need that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Point blank, period. Now, I know that offends a lot of people, and that separates me from a lot of people, family, friends, or foe. And I know people will feel a certain way, but you know what? God damn it, that's just how it gotta be. I gotta draw a line in the sand, and I gotta purge my own feelings of what I really want in life. And I gotta be truthful. And it's time to be truthful so you can be free. And everybody should be free mentally. If that's something about you, you need that, that is on you. But that's not me. So guess what? We draw a line in the sand. Out in the public, over the phone, I could talk to pretty much everybody. But that's just how it is. This new age thinking. I got a lot more of this new age thinking as well, but it would definitely be triggering, and it'd be even more touchy than what I'm telling you. So I won't go there. That's exclusive. As if you're around me, if I see certain things. But part of this new age thinking of being whatever you want to be, it's time to draw a line in the sand. Sometimes in life, guys, and your family have this new age thinking, and you can't be around them. That's why in this world today is a separation. That's why there's a lot of people that don't get along with their father, their mother, their brother, their sister, their cousins, whatever. Because it's this drawing a line in the sand. And I came to that conclusion in life. This also new age thinking, feminists. You know, you have to, if you married to a woman, she want to hyphen her name, keep her last name. To me, that's, and I know that's been going on for decades, but I'm putting that into the new age thinking as well. I don't need you around me. You know, if you have that type of philosophy, you can't be in my kingdom and take my whole name and that's it, because you belong to me. And if you can't deal with that, it is cool. It is cool. I keep you outside in the streets. That new age thinking ain't gonna work for me. And you know what? I know my new age, the new age thinking and my philosophies, my thinking. Many people, I know this. You don't even have to tell me. People say, Mr. Greatness, that's what nobody gonna want to deal with you. No woman gonna deal with you. You're gonna be alone and all of this other stuff. I know you like to mention, you will say those talking points, but believe me, I am not alone. You might think I am, but I'm not. But if you believe that I'm alone, then you believe that you have every right to say and believe what you want to believe. And I'm not trying to change you. I just know that I'm happy. I'm happy because, and I'm becoming more happier and content in life because I have things in my heart, clarity that I've came to grips with, and I drew a line in the sand, so to speak, of who I'm associating with and who I'm not associating with. Now again, if you are, let's say, have a certain thinking, it doesn't mean, don't think I'm going to just be cursing you out when I see you in the streets. Like, F you, because you smoke. No, of course not. Of course not. No, I'm not a heathen now. But I'm just saying, if you was living in my home, obviously you can't do that. Or if you was coming in my home and stuff like that, you can't smoke. Come in my home and you got dip in and dip out, and I gotta compromise myself and smell your residue, because I don't like smelling it personally. It don't put me in a happy place smelling a person smelling like marijuana. It doesn't put me in a happy place if you're in my house. I must be happy in my house. I mean, I have that God-given right. So I don't need to smell weed on you. Just like I don't need to smell you stink in my house. I get offended, and I will be offended. That's what I mean. So, just to give you that example, people have rights to do, again, you have a right to do whatever you want to do, to be whoever you want to be. Outside of my home, you have that right. And I'm fine with that. But again, this new age thinking, I'm not with this new age thinking. And this is just some of the examples. And I know some of you, again, family, friends, and foe would easily say, well, you know what? Mr. Greatness, you call me by my government name and just say you're F you, and I see you at the crossroad. And I would say, okay, no problem. And that's how I look at it. And I know some of you individuals have this philosophy like me, but you just not bold enough to put it out there and say it. And that's okay. It's okay, but I will say this. No, it's not okay actually, because in life you need to be free. You need to be free. And everybody needs to be free, good or bad. But again, being too free can cause destruction. And this is why most of the population is self-destructing, because they're a little too free and they have no discipline and structure in their life. So there is a balance. But what I'm overall saying is, if this is who you are, I'm not here to change you. If you have this new age thinking, I'm not here to change you and make you believe what I believe or follow. You have to want to be. And I know for many years growing up, I meet people and I want to change them. Especially, I'm saying, with women. If I'm dating them, I say, here's a book and read this, or, trying to preach and teach them about certain things I want, their bad habits or whatever. And that was wrong because it ended up being destructive, and look where it got me. They gone their way and I have gone my way. So the moral of the story is you cannot change people. People are who they are. Okay, and that's something a gentleman told me this long time ago, and it stuck to my brain. And it just reassured me that it just made sense. People are, and I never forgotten what he just said, people are who they are. And I appreciated that from him. It's a good brother. He said people are who they are. And that's a saying that is very basic, but very true. People are who they are. And you cannot change them. And this new age thinking, you have, majority of people have this new age thinking. For the small minority of us that has an old school thinking, and it's not necessarily age too, because people, they're 20s, some of them have an old school philosophy. They was raised in a certain way. They come from different countries, different backgrounds, so forth. They have a certain mindset. But if you're not about this new age thinking, your best bet is to circle around, circle around people, family, friends, or foe that has your same mindset. That's not about this new age thinking. And a lot of times the unfortunate thing is you have to get rid of a lot of family members too. You have to purge yourself from family members. I had to recently even purge myself from family members as well. I'm always purging. Because of this new age thinking of theirs. And I was touching base previously with feminism. And I think that's also the new age thinking with the hyphenated names. I know I was touching on that, and I'll bring it back real quickly. Is like 50-50 partnership. If you do it, I do it. If I wash dishes on a Monday, you wash dishes on a Tuesday. I don't have to submit to you. It's my body and all of this stuff. But yet and still you want the man to still protect you. You still want him to provide for you, etc. But these feminists have all of these wild, in my opinion, wild and backwards mentality. And a lot of times, most 99% of these feminists are bitter and unhappy anyway. And if they're young feminists, eventually they're going to self-destruct, in my opinion, anyway. Because these feminists have to find a weak man on their level so they can still have that feminist point of view. They can't have a domineering man. A man really they need. But this new age philosophy, you have to have that man with, he like, okay, honey, I rub your feet on the Monday, you rub my feet on the Tuesday. That type of man. That keeps them still in the dominatory philosophy. They don't know how to be truly feminine. They don't know how to be submissive. They're not going to be submissive to you, men. It's non-negotiable. They're not going to be submissive to you. And overall, over long term, they're just going to give you a headache in your house. So the best bet is to leave them alone. And to avoid that, you ask questions. When you start hearing that 50-50 partnership, and you don't correct her on that, and she stands on that, that relationship, in my opinion, is going to crash and burn. Because there's no 50-50 partnership. You don't have two right hands or two left hands. Somebody going to have to be over another. That's just how it works. You can't have two quarterbacks. You have one quarterback, one leader, one El Presidente, or if you say in English, one president of the United States. You don't have two presidents. You don't have two vice presidents. You don't have a president and a president. You got a president and a vice president. Structure, order, hierarchy. Same thing you have in politics. Same thing you have in the court system. You have a judge, then prosecutor. You don't have two judges unless it's a special court. You have a group. But that's a special case. It's wild out here. You have just all of these different philosophies. You could be this feminist type of movement that is really destroying families. You can't have two people in the same status. It has to be structure. Like again, when I was just saying president and vice president, and you have structure within the workplace, and you're supposed to have structure within your household. This is why divorce rates is high and climbing, because this new age thinking that a lot of these women is putting out here, and they like take it or leave it. And a lot of men are saying, I leave it. Because number one, why would you want to get yourself wrapped up in a situation where you have a feminist out here with all of these philosophies, and she's acting basically like a dude, and then you gotta sacrifice everything, and then you lose everything when you get a divorce? Why would you invest in something like that? That's not a good investment. Why would you put yourself in that situation? This new age thinking. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And a lot of men is coming to grips with that. It's not worth it. And all you men that want to agree, a lot of you fall into this category of agreeing into this new age philosophy. Yeah, it's okay. She can be whoever she want to be, hyphenate the name, or it's 50-50. I wash clothes on a Monday too, or I cook, or she rubs my feet, I rub her feet. All of this extra, in my opinion, just for her to cheat on you anyway. And if you really go by statistics, 4 or 5 years of in a relationship, in a marriage, and then it's gone, dissipated, and you have a child with her, and she takes you to court, and she takes everything, over half. Is that a good investment? Is that what did that work for you with this new age philosophy? Now you bitter. Now you upset. Now you red pill. We gotta start really thinking. Really, we gotta start thinking. We just can't be whatever. We can't take this philosophy, just whatever. It shouldn't be just all whatever. And a lot of times you have this new age thinking by the youth. It's just this whatever philosophy. And a lot of us parents allow this new age philosophy in your home. In your home. Matter of fact, in your home. You're not about that life, but then you settle for it because you don't want to get little Johnny and little Sarah mad at you, your son and daughter, and you don't want to draw a line in the sand. It's your child living in your home. Point blank, period. I am not going to be paying rent. Well, no, so let me rephrase that. I am not going to be paying my bills and take care of another child of mine in my house, and she or he is not following my rules, and you having this new age philosophy in my house. That's a no-no. If you have this new age philosophy in my house that I pay bills with, and then I gotta feed your funky behind in my house, guess what? It's either you stay and change or you go. And a lot of these children, parents, you gotta be bold and let them go. Kick them out. I don't care where you be. You just have to be homeless, eating food out of a garbage can. I don't give a uck. I didn't curse, I said uck. I don't give a uck. But you cannot stay in my house. You cannot live there. You can't live with me. You have this new age. I knew parents allowed their kids to smoke weed in their house. And these parents is not about that. They just say, well, you know, he or she is going to smoke out in the street. That is true. But you can't be in my house smoking that. And if I catch you smoking, you coming in smelling and all high and stuff as a teenager, you got to go. If you're not going to change your ways, you got to go. Point blank, period. And a lot of these mothers, they pacify these children. They allow these new age children to talk back to them, to say whatever they want to say to them, to curse them out. You know, you cannot live in my house. You are not welcome in my house. You have to draw a line in the sand. In life, I did a lot of drawing in the sand. But to piggyback with the children living in your house, you can't have these new age kids coming out in your house and living in your house, and you gotta feed them, and they're under your roof, and they smoking and drinking and getting high and all of this stuff, and some of y'all parents allow these women, these young girls and boys, to just have sex all up in the house. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. You're not welcome. You got to go. And if it means you homeless, so let it be. Because you feel you grown enough, you adult, you are grown, you feel you're old enough and bold enough to not respect my rules and then talk back to me. Then you take your pill popping ass, your weed smoking ass, your liquor drinking ass, and get the fuck out of my house. Yes, I cursed. You get the fuck out of my house. You dirty bastard. For your young boys. You whore for you young girls. Get the fuck out of my house. Yes. And I said it. And I don't give a goddamn where you live. You figure it out. You want to be man enough, woman enough to disrespect me? I have I have a deeper appreciation in my dad. And he told me certain things and I didn't get it until he's gone, of course. Typical youngin'. But, which is a shame. Well, you know what? I understood philosophies a lot of years. And in fairness, it's not like I just picked it up now. I learned. But one thing, he drew a line in the sand. You're not going to be disrespecting him on no fronts. You're not going to be calling him out his name. I know I had disagreements with my father, but I better not. Even when he was old, I better not be just saying to him, F you, dad, and all of that stuff. Man, listen, man. Old school. His finger's still good on the trigger. His finger's still good on the trigger. It's respect. R.I.P. Dad. And this is how, a lot of you men, you allow this. Well, not really a lot of you men, because a lot of you men have no control over the children because the mother has the control, because there's a lot of single mamas out here. We know what the single mamas do. They just allow whatever, and they go with emotions and stuff and allow their boys and girls to do whatever, say whatever. And this is the outcome, this new age thinking. And this is not going to fly. Again, I had to draw a line in the sand with a lot of family members. And even recently. And I just said, you know what? It's not going to work. This is not a good fit. Like the job, like your HR at the job will say. This is not a good fit, Al. And I don't think it's going to work out. So we're giving you you have to be fired today. And best of luck in your future endeavors. You heard that before, some of you. I know I have. So, new age thinking. And the thing about it is, in this new age thinking, even jobs have old age thinking. And they live we in the present time. When you work at companies, we know people can smoke whenever, So a lot of these companies say, you cannot smoke while you're working for us. While you're on duty, you cannot smoke, you cannot drink in their establishment. How is that? These corporations still have old school philosophies. They don't say, well, you could just fornicate in my job whenever you want. You can drink whatever you want at my job. You can smoke wherever you want on your job. Matter of fact, a lot of these shops say no smoking, even around the gate, even in the parking lot, no smoking. How is that? And we living in the present day. They got structure. But you don't have structure in your house? You can't fornicate at the job. You can't smoke at the job, around the job. You can't drink around the job, at the job. You must be there at 9 a.m. and leave 5 p.m. They don't say you could leave 5 or 4:59. They tell you in your contract. They give you days that you can take off. You got to contact them and get permission. If this is not old school, if this is not structure, I don't know what. And major corporations, they still have that structure. They don't, even in this new age philosophies. They don't say, well, because we know you a weed head, you can smoke on the job. If you got a job like that, the job is trash anyway. They got structure. But yet and still, you as parents cannot have structure in your house? Even in this new age lifestyle. Some of the jobs that if you say is the factory jobs where they have uniforms, or even let's take it to the police officers. They wear uniforms. In the transgender world, do you have right now a man wearing a dress as a police officer? Even if he's a transgender gentleman, is that trans gentleman wearing a dress as a police officer? Have you wondered? I mean, we in the age of transgender, right? So that's what it is. But do you have a transgender cop wearing a dress on duty? At least not now. Why? Because there's structure. That's why. There's still an old school structure that been going on for centuries within the police department. And I'm speaking NYPD. Because they have a uniform code that everybody, whoever they are, when they join NYPD, they must wear. Why? I haven't seen a trans gentleman police officer coming in with a uniform of a dress. wearing a dress on duty. If it is a trans gentleman officer, I don't know. It is. I'm not into that world, so I don't know. But if it is a trans gentleman officer or a gay officer wearing a dress on duty, they all wear one uniform: pants, shirt. Everybody wear pants, shirt, no matter who you are, because it's a code, it's structure. And that's my point. Even in this age of new age philosophies, there's structure within corporations, there's structure within law enforcement. That's why I'm just saying, so why can't it not be in your own house? That's my point. At least for now. Maybe it might change in the future. But right now, that's the structure. And it's been going on for decades. We got to have structure, even in this new age. And if you're about structure and you're not into this new age philosophy, you got to draw a line in the sand, especially in your household. Your household is your house, your household. Not other people's households, not other people's philosophies. It's your household. So you must have structure in your house. And if you cannot have structure in your house, it is chaos. Thank you for listening.